It's full-time Devils. It's time for another huge debate. This topic voted for by you, fans of the channel. It is a massive one today. We are voting for Manchester United's best Premier League player of all time. It is huge. I did warn you. On the call today with me, McKola's here, Howson's here, and Amy making her debut on the channel for today's debate. So let's get straight into it, guys. Amy, we might as well start with you. You are brand new here. So who is your greatest or best Manchester United Premier League player?
So I'll be honest, it's been a very difficult decision. It's taken hours there's so many amazing players for United. So for me, it's Paul Scholes. He's a local lad. He's won so many awards. He's part of class of '92. You know, he's part of the triple 99. He's a rocket outside the box. There's so many reasons for me, but I love Paul Scholes partly because he's a local lad and he's won so many awards. I'd be here all night to just list them.
I mean, we say he's won so many awards. Obviously, as a team, Paul Scholes has won many awards, but there are fans of rival clubs who have said in the past that Paul Scholes didn't win many personal accolades, which means that he's not as good a player as some Manchester United fans claim he is. What would you say to those fans?
Well, I'd say you're wrong, basically. He's won the Premier League Player of the Month 4 times. 2003, twice in 2003, 2006 and 2010. And he's won personal awards himself that total up to probably 30 awards. So those people, shut them down.
Right, okay. So not winning Player of the Year doesn't matter at all for Amy. But yeah, I completely agree. Paul Scholes, a fantastic player. I don't know whether he's Manchester United's best Premier League player ever, but a genius on the pitch. I would say one of the few players, but I know that we had a few at that time. But every time Paul Scholes got the ball, you knew something good was coming. And also, when an opposition player had the ball near Paul Scholes, you knew something good
he's a rocket.
was coming.
He's a rocket outside the box. Those goals that he took from outside the box were legendary.
I
also
only
a couple of players that can kick like him.
Yeah, exactly. I also just love the anticipation of the whole crowd knowing that Paul Scholes is going to go in for a really bad tackle and everyone almost cheering every time he did it. We all enjoyed it. Adam, who is your best Premier League player ever for Manchester United then?
The player I've gone with, I could have gone with a few, but I've gone with Sir Ryan Giggs, and not just because we got to spend a few days with him last week, but for me, when you talk about a man that's got 13 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, 2 Champions Leagues, loads of charity shields, he's got Super Cups, World Cups, he's got the lot, and he's also managed the club for a short period as well, which was pretty surreal. We talk about individual honours, he's got them too. He's in the PFA Team of the Century, he's got PFA Players Player of the Year, he's got Sports Personality of the Year, Football Writers of the Year, Man United Players Player of the Year. Even a GQ Sportsman of the Year. That's how big Ryan Giggs is. He transcends football. He's not just a footballer. He's a global superstar. And that's because, not because of things that have happened off the pitch, because of things that have happened on the pitch. Not only was he a leader on the pitch, not in the typical fashion, but in terms of leading from the front and in the manner that you apply yourself. He's inspired a generation of kids that are now coming through at Manchester United and will continue to come through at Manchester United. And he's just a player with the most accolades. You can't take anything away from him. Any record at the club, he's got it.
I've seen I don't know why it's come about recently, this, but I've seen certain opposition fans say that in terms of actual raw quality, if you take away the actual amount of time that he played, Ryan Giggs wasn't actually one of the best players in the world. What would you say to that, Adam?
I'm going to stop you there, Gaz, because that is absolute rubbish. And that is something that's started by a younger generation of fans that can't remember Ryan Giggs as a winger, that can't remember Ryan Giggs when he had curly hair, that can't remember none of that stuff. All they remember is Ryan Giggs probably, because you got to remember a lot of people now that we interact with on Twitter, on YouTube, on everything, are a lot younger than us without, and they've not been able to see how long Ryan Giggs has done it. And that kind of is testament to his greatness. He has done it for so long that some people can't even remember his early stages and how good he was, twisting up defenders. Some of his goals that he scored were Messi-like, that we see Messi do now, dribbling through players and all that stuff. So for me, Ryan Giggs, if people say that he's not really all that, they haven't seen all of his career. and they probably just remember him for being a central midfielder in the latter stages of his career and things like that. And that's not Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs is a Welsh wing wizard that ripped every defender apart and is epitomised in his goal in '99. But he did it so much more than that. Look at Turin in 03-04, the goal that he scored there against one of the best teams in Europe. He does it all the time.
Exactly what you said then about younger fans maybe misjudging players. I mean, I suppose you could say the same for Paul Scholes, a player who's moved around the pitch during his career. Maybe some people can't remember when he played striker all those years ago. And the same with Giggs. Some people don't remember him playing on the wing. So there's a little bit of a weird impression of him. But if you don't remember Giggs from the early days, make sure you go out and check some highlights out on YouTube, because the guy was just a wizard, a Welsh wizard. There's a reason why they called him it. Howson, who is your best Manchester United Premier League player ever?
There's only one answer, and there's only one correct answer, and that is Cristiano Ronaldo is the best player that we've seen in the United shirt in the Premier League era. If we're talking about greatness, if we're talking about longevity, then Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs not only have to be in the conversation, but are probably looking at winning that conversation.
Okay.
But when you talk about
sorry, Howson.
peaks,
sorry to interrupt.
The highest of the highs is only Ronaldo.
But you're talking in terms of just pure ability, like who was the best at one time, and Ronaldo. I'm guessing you're going with 2008 Ronaldo is the best player that has ever played for United.
Even if you took an average of what he did, and I agree with Adam that the Twitter generation that loves them 9-second little clips of people tearing people up, if that was around in '94, you wouldn't be able to move for Ryan Giggs videos. But Ryan Giggs scored like 160 something goals for United. Ronaldo in 6 seasons, less than a third of the time, and with like 600 less games, only scored 50 less goals. So when you're talking about the pure ability of a guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, and if you want to talk about it, 2008, when he became the World Player of the Year, the Ballon d'Or winner, the Football Writers Player of the Year, the PFA Player of the Year, United's Player of the Year, scored 42 goals, winning the Champions League, winning the league for us. Cristiano Ronaldo, the height that he hit is the highest that we've seen in the Premier League era.
Okay, then. Cristiano Ronaldo won the European Cup with Manchester United, won the double that season, and won the Ballon d'Or. Adam, why did Giggs never win the Ballon d'Or?
Don't need it.
Do you not think it was because he was not as good as Ronaldo?
Because he's Welsh.
You actually think that has an influence?
Yeah. Nah, I don't really think that has an influence. Look, Cristiano Ronaldo is without doubt one of the greatest players to play for Manchester United. Great. But for me, Mr. Premier League era is Ryan Giggs, and he is Manchester United, and we're talking about Manchester United's greatest player. I do agree in the sense.
Talking about best, not great.
I do agree in a sense that. We're talking about the best player in the Premier League era. I do agree in a sense that the heights that Cristiano Ronaldo achieved at Manchester United, not many people have matched them. But also, just for me, longevity does mean something in this case. And I think you have to look at Ryan Giggs as the man that has done it all. He's got the most Premier Leagues. He's got the most European Cups at the club. This is Manchester United's best. Ryan Giggs.
Amy, do you think that Paul Scholes I don't think he would be overlooked in this sort of debate, really, but do you think if he's overlooked by certain fans, it might be to do with the fact that he used to keep his head down, get on with the game, wasn't exactly a marketable superstar like Cristiano Ronaldo, or even Ryan Giggs was a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, when you're talking about Ronaldo and Paul Scholes and people like that, I think Ronaldo, I'll be honest with you, he's on a different level. Like, his whole upbringing was completely different. His mum gave him to another country when he was 11 years old, and he went to superstar camp training. Don't get me wrong, he's a very, very skilled player. But when we're talking about Manchester and we're talking about homegrown players, Paul Scholes has won so many awards. I mean, I can read a list off for you if you want me to read it. It's as long as anything. But for me, he had all the tricks in the bag. He was a fantastic player. He's played international. He's just a decent, nice boy. He wasn't involved in any crazy controversy. Like, he kept his head down. He went in. He listened to Fergie. He's just a decent person. Like, I'm not saying that the other two aren't, because I love Giggs. Like, I met Giggs as well last week. I think he's a great person. But for me, Paul Scholes You know, he's part of the triple 99. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. Just everyone's face then was just a picture. It's like this every week, Amy. Don't worry about it.
So embarrassed.
Right then, 30 seconds for everyone here to summarise their argument on who they think is Manchester United's best Premier League player. Then I will decide who the greatest debater is on today's huge debate. Howson, let's start with you. Why do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is Manchester United's best player of the Premier League era? 30 seconds, go.
It's quite simple, because he's the only one in the Premier League era that has won a Ballon d'Or. But not just that, he's also won the World Player of the Year alongside that, the Football Writers Player of the Year. 2008, Cristiano Ronaldo hit a peak that not one other Manchester United player has even come close to. Ryan Giggs' best season, he scored 17 goals. Paul Scholes' best season, he scored 20 goals. Cristiano's best season, 42 goals. He carried Manchester United, and that season he even went on and made Sepp Blatter make a new award for him with a Puskas award, because the goal that he scored against Porto was that good.
Right, okay. It was a pretty big goal. Amy, let's go to you then next. 30 seconds. Why is Paul Scholes Manchester United's best Premier League player? Go.
Paul Scholes is a local lad. He's from Salford. He's got he's a rocket outside the box. He's a fantastic player. He's got 66 caps. He's scored 150 goals, over 700 appearances. He's a local lad. He's a fantastic guy. He's a nice person, because I've met him. And he inspires like here we go. He inspires the younger generation, like Ryan Giggs. And let's talk about it real. He's a local lad. Let's bring the local lads into
Paul
Man United.
Scholes, 30 seconds. If we're going to give it to a local lad, then I'll win the award. I'm a local lad too. I'm shit at football. But
say local lad in 30 seconds, Amy.
Huh?
McKola, let's go over to you then. 30 seconds, summarise your argument. Why is Giggsy the best? Go.
I've changed my mind, guys.
No, you've not.
Right. It is, of course, Sir Ryan Giggs, 13 Premier League medals, 2 Champions Leagues, the most appearances for Manchester United. If we're looking at Manchester United and we're looking at our best Premier League era player, it has to be none other than Sir Ryan Giggs. He doesn't need a Ballon d'Or. He's got all the marbles, and he's been here forever. The most decorated player in Manchester United's history. It'd be ridiculous not to pick him. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo was great. Of course, Paul Scholes was great. Of course, we had loads of other great players, but Ryan Giggs played with all of them, and he always stood out.
Concise, 30 seconds. Good arguments from everyone there. This is the point where I'm supposed to decide a winner.
You can't have an and.
Ryan Giggs also done a video which says subscribe to FullTimeDEVILS, and I don't think any of the others. So.
Well, yeah, I think that may swing it. Well, you know what I'm surprised at? I'm surprised none of you's mentioned Wayne Rooney.
He was my other choice.
He's a good player, but he's seedy.
Sorry, it was Giggs? Ronaldo? What? Howson, what did Rooney come into your head when you were trying to decide?
They are amazing.
Howson, did you think about Wayne Rooney when you were just trying to decide your best player? No.
I did. When you look at a man that's he's won everything at Manchester United. He's won every single trophy you can win. He's our greatest. I'm not going to say he's our greatest goal scorer. He's our #1 goal scorer in terms of numbers, and he's England's top goal scorer as well. When you look at what he's achieved in his career, he could be there. But Ryan Giggs is Mr. Man United, and Wayne Rooney also didn't tell people to subscribe to FullTimeDEVILS. So.
I'm in two minds. I think that it pains me to say this because I'm still incredibly jealous that not only did you get to meet him, but you actually got to interview him. But I'm going to give today's win to Adam McKola. Ryan Giggs as United's best Premier League player. Although Paul Scholes, obviously well within a shout, and Cristiano Ronaldo, arguably the most talented player to ever play for Manchester United. Personally, I'd have gone for Wayne Rooney, but hey ho, what do I know?
You just said he's the most talented player to ever play for us. We're talking about the best player. You've just told us who the actual answer was, guys.
That decision's final, right?
Yeah, that decision is final, and I base my decision on who I think has argued the best today, and I think Adam McKola has argued the best today, so...
Yeah,
Sorry, mate. Join us next time. Another huge debate will be coming soon. We've got all the previews on the way, and Adam will have all the fan cams for whenever it is we're next playing. It's all coming up. Subscribe, get your comments in, get all your opinions in below. We'll see you next time. Laters.
Hi, I'm Ryan Giggs, and you're watching Full Time Devils, the biggest, the best Man United fan channel in the world. Subscribe now.